Here's my Unreal scene. You can see that I've already imported my palm tree, right? Here's my meshes. Here are my textures. I did save my Photoshop files off to be PNG files and brought them in. Now the bark material itself is very simple. If I double click to open that up, you'll see I plugged my base color. It just goes into base color. I added a constant, that's right click, constant 1. I created one of those for metallic, and I created another one for roughness, and I set that to 1 so that the bark itself is very flat and basic. Now, along with that, I have also made a material for my fronds. Now, this one is a little bit different. When you make this material, you're going to select the material itself and come over to the side. Material domain remain surface. The blend mode is going to be masked, and then you're going to change the shading model. And you can see this is set to two-sided foliage. I've also checked two-sided right here. Now, what you do with that is a lot of these are the same. I have a basic material plugged in here for metallic, right? That's the constant, right click, constant, in a constant 1 vector, right? And I created another constant for the roughness, and this one I set to 0.5, so the palm fronds are a little bit shiny. I also have my opacity here, which I've plugged in directly into the opacity mask. And then I have this multiply, and I'm multiplying another constant by that and plugging that into opacity here. All right? This is going to help with the overall translucency that happens. Now you'll notice I'm using another multiply, and I have this guy that has color. In order to get that to happen, you just right click and do constant 3 vector, right? And then that allows you to come over here to the side and click, and you can change color values there. Now, what that's doing with the one I've set up here is this gets multiplied together, and that goes to this area. That goes into this portion called subsurface color. Now, what that does, I'm going to say no, is when you have the sun up there and you move your tree over, instead of it just being black, you actually get a little bit of color that shows up. Right? And so that's what that subsurface is happening. It's sort of the effect, the easy way to describe this is if you ever put a flashlight on your palm and looked at it, or if you ever put a kind of flashlight in your mouth like kids do and you can kind of see the blood vessels and stuff through it. This is the material creating that kind of effect, and so you sort of see this kind of nice green glow happening there on the trees. All right? And so that's how you go through and you create your materials and you bring in your models and assign your materials appropriately to them. And that's the process for going through and building a palm tree.